I've lost the chat, so I wanna address the chat, because I look, I get it. There's two sides, that games that were unavailable for other people going somewhere else, them being able to play it, being bad, and people being angry about that. Yes, that's dumb. I understand that. That is dumb. I agree that that's dumb. I am happy that people that do not own an Xbox or a PC will be able to play Starfield. I genuinely am. So no, in no way am I grabbing a pitchfork and saying, "Oh, I don't want PlayStation gamers to be able to play Starfield." No, no, no. PlayStation, as part of their business practices, keeps games on the console, whether they're first party or they sign deals, like with Square Enix for the Final Fantasy VII trilogy. That's something that happens. So in order to be competitive over the last 5 or more years, Xbox has needed to have exclusives. And they acknowledged that publicly, and they bought Bethesda to address that publicly, and then acknowledged that publicly after the purchase, 2 months before the Series X and S were coming out. And so here I am, trying to make this personal so that you can like maybe understand what it's like for people who are really affected by this in a negative way. I really never had an Xbox. I was never invested in that ecosystem, and I didn't have a one. I had a PlayStation 4. And so now it comes the time where it's like, do I double down with PlayStation, or do I go into the Xbox ecosystem? It's a big decision. It's going to be a $500 console, and I have to decide. And then that's going to be the platform where I have all my games. I really love the Elder Scrolls franchise, and I really want to play Starfield. Honestly, maybe Bethesda games are more important to me than Last of Us and Horizon, Forbidden West. We didn't know the subtitle yet, and the slate of PlayStation exclusives. And now they're saying I've got to pick. Yes, they're saying it's going to be case by case basis for exclusivity, but the implication being, hey, we didn't spend $7 billion on Bethesda to let the games go everywhere. We're gonna have to lock away Hellblade and the Indiana Jones game you don't know about yet, and the Blade game that you don't know about yet, and Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, because we want to compete for you guys. We want to be a worthy alternative in the market to keep that competition up. That's what we're going to do. That was the discussion. And Phil heavily implied that. Their executive team heavily implied that they made this purchase for a reason. It was for the gamers, for the community of Xbox. They're like, here, we're going to do it. We're going to fight the good fight. Get behind us. Come and buy this new console. That's what they really meant. Come give us your money. So I went out and bought a $500 console. Not only that, I subbed a Game Pass for 3 years up front. And I rebought probably like $300 or more worth of games that I had on PlayStation, because I'm like, okay, I'm moving my library over to Xbox. I said, I'm not buying a PlayStation 5. I'm moving over to Xbox. I like what they're doing. I'm gonna go all in on Xbox. I think that's the ecosystem that I want to be in. I'm buying what Phil is pitching. And they're like, the games are coming. Fable's coming. Halo Infinite's gonna be dope. We're gonna have all these Bethesda exclusives. It's all coming. And then 3 years. It's been 3 years, and I was like basically forced to go out and buy a PlayStation, because like I'm looking at the Final Fantasy remakes and like all these games that PlayStation has. Xbox has had Redfall and nothing, because Starfield is not going to be exclusive. Indiana Jones is not going to be exclusive. Hellblade is probably not going to be exclusive. Sure, maybe Halo Infinite stays, but that game didn't deliver. No. What the hell? How am I supposed to feel? Like, you had me buy in on a false premise, on a lie, only for Phil to come out and say on Kind of Funny XCast, oh, well, we don't expect anybody to move their library away. I did that! I did that because you told me to! Because you got up on a stage and you said, believe in us and invest in us. So I paid my money, and then 2 years on, 2.5 years on, I feel like a bleeping idiot, because I'm like, you know what? I got to go out and get a PS5 because I want to play God of War Ragnarok, and I want to play good games. I want to play Spider-Man. And you know what Xbox has got? They don't have anything at all. And now they're telling me that the stuff that the Fable and all that stuff that they were like, oh, it's coming down the line. Look at all the great stuff we got for you. Look at all the great stuff we got for Xbox gamers. They're telling me now that all that, I could have just bought a PlayStation 5, not had to invest in any of that. I didn't need Game Pass. Sure, it's great that I could play those games, but I didn't need it. I could sub to PlayStation Plus and play those games 6 months later. It's fine. Like, I mean, like, there's so much money that I've invested in this ecosystem because of the lies that they told me. I could have stayed in the PlayStation ecosystem, never gave them a dime, but they told me that it was worth the investment. They directly said, you will get return on this investment if you believe in us. And this is a betrayal of the highest order. That's why Tim Dog is done. That's why everybody on Twitter that is known for supporting Xbox, Jez Corden, they're all done. Paul Tassi said it on Twitter, like, this is embarrassing. Like, this is embarrassing for Microsoft and Xbox to do this. Like, they look ridiculous. I mean, they have literally completely negated the value of their entire ecosystem and have spat in the face, made a laughingstock of the people that have spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars investing into their ecosystem, building up a library in that, to basically say, you'll be better off if you go play on the other box because you'll be getting the games that they have that they won't let us have, like Final Fantasy and everything else, and you'll get our games too. So why the hell did I buy an Xbox? There's no reason for me to have one whatsoever. And like, I don't have extra money lying around. You think I'm going to buy anything on Xbox now, knowing that I'm not going to have the next Xbox, that I'm definitely going to have a PlayStation 6? Hell no. The Xbox didn't give me any good value off of that investment. And then they said, well, stick with us, stick with us, stick with us. And now you come out and do this. You literally just went back on everything that you promised. Everything that you promised. Like, you have delivered nothing. Absolutely nothing for me. And that's insulting. And that's why we the Xbox people out there, we feel disgusted. We feel gross. Like, can you just conceive of what it would take for someone like Tim Dog to scrub his entire Twitter profile of anything Xbox related? He said he doesn't even want to talk to anybody at Xbox right now. I mean, this is bizarro land. I mean, I've never seen corporate self-sabotage of this level in the gaming industry. I guess, you know, I mean, I don't even think Sega was like this. Sega tried. This is insane. They just made their entire player base overnight not want to buy another game on their platform. So now I know. Like, if I can play Halo on the PlayStation, I'm just going to have a PlayStation. And that's what I'll have. And I'll buy my PS6. And when the game comes on PS6, I'll buy it.